In revision, it is very, very important. Two things. If you try only on your own, okay, sometimes it may not give good result. Or if a teacher tells everything, also it will not give good result. Both you have to equally balance. Because over years I've seen there are some years I thought ultimately exams you have to write on your own. Why should I teach? I just used to give time. If somebody asks doubt, I used to clarify. But the problem with this is sometimes somebody may get the answer, they may be happy, but they might have done a lengthy method, or somehow they might have done wrong something they got. Some question there may be two, three other alternatives. So we have to teacher has to teach a selection of questions so that you get an idea. This is the way to do the questions. Okay. But ultimately, exam you have to write. You have to develop the skills and the speed and how to do the questions. So you have to also try. Okay. Any one of this you neglect. There is somebody misses classes, thinks that I'll study on my own. I know all the theory, or the other way. Somebody will only listen, but they don't try it. Okay. Both are not going to give good result. You have to balance both. Okay. Maths and determinants. I want to tell a little bit of theory related to determinants and then continue with the questions. If I take a 2 by 2 matrix, 2 by 2 determinant, it is very, very easy. AD minus BC. This into this minus this into this. Okay. But actually, the definition of determinant is you can take any row or any column, multiply with the cofactors of the corresponding elements and add all of them. Actually, this is A into D and B into minus C. A into the cofactor of A is D. One may say, what is cofactor? Forget about that row and that column, whatever is left. Okay. Determinant of that is cofactor. So for A, cofactor is D. Of course, cofactor you also have to write minus 1 whole power I plus j into whatever we are saying now. Okay. For B, what is the cofactor? Forget about that row and that column will be left with C. But this will become first row, second column will become 1 plus 2, so it will be minus C. Okay. So for this cofactor is this. Similarly, anyway, we'll talk about adjoint and cofactors a little later. At that time, I'll tell you once again. So right now, let us take this. Coming to a 3 by 3 determinant, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. It's not that we always have to use first row. You can use any row or any column and expand. So if you are using first row, A into what is the cofactor of first row? Forget about this row and this column, you'll get EI minus HF. B into the cofactor of B is, forget about this row, this column, will get DI minus GF, but actually it is minus of that, DI minus GF. But instead of writing minus here, we are writing minus here, that's all. Actually minus is here because for this cofactor means minus 1 whole power I plus j is first row, second column will become negative. Plus C into the cofactor of C is, forget about this row, this column, you will get DH minus G. All right. If you are using second row, you have to take minus plus minus because for this cofactor should have minus. You actually did D into Bi minus Hc with a minus. Bi minus Hc. This minus is for minus 1 whole power 2 plus 1. But instead of that, we are writing here. Plus E into, forget about this row, this column, we will get Ai minus Gc with the plus only. And for F, forget about this row, this column, we will get AH minus BC. So you can use any row or any column. But one more thing I want to say is sometimes it is useful. You write the same determinant one more time. A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, H, I. Okay. Multiply these three, and multiply these three. That is AEI plus BFG plus CDH. Minus this product, minus this product, minus this product. Minus AFH minus BDI minus CEG. Okay. This is also another way to expand determinant. It is called some Sarus method or something. I don't worry about the name. Okay. For example, sometimes if you see when I do a determinant directly I write expansion without writing this kind of step. Okay. I do based on this. For example, you take ABC, BCA, CAB. What is the determinant? Again, write ABC, BCA, CAB. What is this product? ABC. This is ABC. This ABC. When I add, I'll get 3 ABC. This product is A cube. So minus A cube, minus B cube, minus C cube. That's all. Determinant is expand. Okay. I'm not saying all determinants you do like this, but some determinant will come very nicely like this without writing much. Okay. There are some properties of determinants. For example, if one row or one column is 0, the determinant is 0. If two rows are equal or two columns are equal, that is 0. If one row is a multiple of another row or one column is a multiple of another column, that is 0. Okay, right? Next, if you multiply one row with k, the determinant will become k times the original determinant. If you multiply the whole matrix with k, every element with k, the determinant will become k power n times. K will come common. If it is 3 by 3 matrix, k will come common thrice. If it is n by n matrix, k will come common. So det of ka is actually k power n into det a. You take a matrix, multiply with k, the det of that is k power n times the original det. If it is 2 by 2 matrix, k square, 3 by 3 matrix, k cube, so on. We can split the determinant. How is that? If I have some a plus L here, b plus m and c plus n, and some d, e, f and some g, h, I can write this as same second row, same third row. But first row I'm splitting. I'm writing a, b, c here, l, m, n. Okay. Okay. So when can you add two determinants? Except one row, other row should be same. Then other rows you write as it is. Don't write d plus d as 2d. No. Write same second row, same third row. Whichever is different, you add that. You can do same thing for columns also. This is from here to here adding, and from here to here splitting. Whenever you are splitting, you can only split one row. For example, if you have some d plus p here, e plus q here, and f plus r, if not that, you will write p q r. It is wrong. Okay. If you are splitting first row, second row, you should write the same thing here also, here also. Okay. So here also d plus p will come, here also d plus p will come, here e plus q, here e plus q. If you want to split that, now it can be written as two more things by splitting the second row. Similarly, it can be written like this. Okay. That's how is addition or splitting of determinants. Some elementary row operations, when you do, the det will not change. One row you add to another row, you'll get a new det, but the determinant value will not change. Okay. You can write R1 as R1 plus, you can add R2 or 5 times R2, 7 times R2, subtract 3 R2, but R1 should remain as R1 only. You write R1, for that you add or subtract R2 as many times as you want, and R3 as many times as you want. The det will not change. Okay. So these are basically some, and if you transpose, the det will not change. Okay. And whenever you interchange any two rows or any columns, you'll get a minus. And if you take a 3 by 3 matrix cyclic order, bring this one here, this one here, this one here, the det will not change because that is effectively interchanging twice. First interchange these two, next interchange these two. One interchange will give a minus, another interchange will give one more minus, you'll get plus. But if it is a 4 by 4 matrix, you change cyclic order, will get a minus. Why? If it is 4 by 4, bring this one here, this one here, this one here, this last. This is a negative of the original det because they are interchanging once, twice, and thrice. You get 3 minus, it will be minus. Don't think cyclic order means that will not change. That is only for 3 by 3 or odd order. For even order, it will change. Sometimes we'll have huge, big determinants. Okay, you will get a big expression here, big here, big here, big here, big here, so on. Will look like how to even proceed it. One of the ways something will work out is we have a formula det of AB is equal to det A into det B. Normally we know how to multiply two matrices, but now here you should have the skill to write one big matrix as product of two different matrices. Okay, how will you know that? You take a two matrices, you know, this row into this column will come here, this row into this column will come here, and this row into this column will come here. So by looking at all these three, you will find three elements here also, same three elements here, same three elements here. That should be the first row here. Once you write that, you can write the first column to get this, you can write second column to get this, you can write third column to get this. Now you got an overall idea, you can write second row and third row. So writing one matrix as product of two matrices, if you know, then a big matrix determinant, you can write a product of two debts. You know this debt separately, this debt separately, multiply, will get the debt of the total. Sometimes one of these debts will be zero, then this big debt which looks huge, but the debt is only zero. Okay, there are, in mains we have very few questions of this sort. Okay, but in advanced we have a lot of questions which can be done based on this. Okay, these are overall properties of determinants, but if anything is there through the questions, we'll cover it. And tomorrow I'll discuss about adjoint and inverse and all other properties. So let us do some questions which are given in today's numbers. Please don't talk and waste time. I will be discussing 48 onwards. Okay, so I'm going to discuss 48, next to 61, next to 66. Every third number in the numbers given. Did I skip something? Yeah, it's okay. 48, 61, 66, that's the 69, next to 73, next to 77, 81. I want to complete all these things if possible. Okay, 48, they gave A in terms of B, maybe quadratic or something. What is the det A by B and B is positive? Okay. So det of 2, B, 1, B square plus 1, B, 1, B, 2. Okay. I can just expand or also simplify. Anybody want to give an idea how we can simplify easily? Okay, something we have to do it. I can multiply B and subtract, that is one way. Or from this, I can subtract this. From that, I'll get 1, 0 here. Okay, we'll see one thing. I'll write in column 1 as column 1 minus column 3 just to see what happens. If required, I can even write column 2 as B times column 3. Column 2 minus B times column 3. This may not be necessary, I'm just doing it. When you do this, you'll get 1 and multiply B, you'll get 0. This is 1. This is 0. This is B square is gone, you'll get 1B. This is, from this, you are removing this, minus 1. From this is minus B. This is 2. That is, I got 1 or 2 zeros. Now I can add R3 as R3 plus R1. 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, B, 0 minus B, 3. When I just expand, what happened to this one? Oh, this is one, B is gone. It is only 1. Okay, good. 1 into 3 plus B square. Okay. Huh? This 1, 0 minus 1. But that doesn't affect it. So you're not affecting answer, right? Okay. No, it will affect this 3, right? It will affect, this will become 1 now. This first one I'm adding here, na? It will become 1. Okay. So it will be 1 plus B square. Is it okay? I am not changing column 3 now. Why it will be minus 1? It will be 1 only. From column 1, I removed column 3. This is minus 1. This is correct one, right? So this is plus 1, this is fine. Okay, so I'm getting 3 plus B square. Now it is very easy. 3 plus B square by 3. AMGM inequality will give you directly what is the minimum value. Okay, 3 plus B square by B, which is B plus 3 by B. I can write this is greater than or equal to 2 times square root of B into 3 by B. B will cancel to root. AMGM inequality. Okay. Somebody want to expand directly determinant without all this? Fine, you expand, not a big deal, I guess. Okay. This is det A by B. From here to here, AMGM inequality. So from here to here, I wrote R3 as R3 plus R1 from here to. We're writing something. You just put maths and determine heading, question number 48, and write that's it. Anything? You want to find derivative. But you have to find det of A by B, derivative of that, na? Okay. So you want to minimum is find derivative of that. Okay. You will get B equal to 1 or minus 1. But then you have to apply U by V rule. Plus or minus root 3, yes, correct. B equal to plus or minus. But B is positive, so we'll take plus root. But when you differentiate means one time first column, one time second column, like that you have done or what? Oh, okay. After getting this, you want to use calculus. Oh, that's okay. You want to find minimum, differentiate it, you'll get B value, put that back. You can make perfect square also, I'll tell you. Is it visible here? This I can write it as B minus root 3 by B whole square plus 2 root 3. This is also root B, sorry. Root B, root B. Something whole square plus 2 root 3. So minimum value is 2 root 3. Okay, somebody can differentiate with respect to B. You will get B equal to root 3, put it back. You can do AMG inequality or you can make perfect square plus some 2 root 3. Either way is okay. Okay, next is 61. Okay, 61, limit extends to 0 f dash x by x. One may ask how to find the derivative of a determinant. One option is really expand the determinant, you'll get an expression and find derivative of that. Another option is you write the same determinant thrice. Here you differentiate only first column but keep second and third column as it is. Here you differentiate only second column, keep first and third as it is. Here you keep first column as it, second column as it is, differentiate third. Where from this came? From UVW rule. And product of two, three things are there, how will you differentiate? UV rule means U dash V plus V U V dash. Like that UVW means one time U dash VW, another time V dash UW, another time W dash VU. Right? That's exactly this. You can do same thing for rows. You can differentiate one time first row, one time second row, one time third row. Okay. So f dash x will come sum of three determinants, or simply expand the determinant and do it. But I will do something else. I am going to do L'Hospital rule in a different way. Normally, how will you use L'Hospital rule? If a limit is in 0 by 0 form, we'll find numerator derivative by denominator derivative and find limit of that. I will do the reverse of that. What is this? Can I write limit extends to 0 f of x by x square by 2? Because f of 0 is 0, this is 0 to 0 by 0 form. Or this, if I use L'Hospital rule, I'll get this. Okay. I think another way of writing L'Hospital rule is you integrate this, but make sure this is becoming 0, this is becoming 0, then these two are equal. L'Hospital rule is derivative of numerator by derivative of denominator, but I'm changing it. Integral of numerator by integral of denominator. But after integration, should make sure it is 0 by 0 form. Okay. So now I'll find limit of this. How I am going to find limit of this, I'll show you. Limit extends to 0. This 2 I'll write 1 by 2. This x square I have to divide divide the determinant. Now I will divide in second row and second column. 1x I will divide in second row, 1x I will divide in second column. Now what happens? See, cos x will become 1 because I divided second column. This will become 1. Here I have to divide with x, so this is 2 sin x by x. This is 1 only because 1x divided here, 1x divided here. This will be 2. and tan x 1 and 1. Okay, I have to divide first second column with x, second row with x. So I have to divide here with x square. That's what it is gone. Now that's all. Only one limit is there. Just apply limit directly. It is off cos 0 is 1 1 1. This is 2 1 2. Tan 0 is 0 0 1 1. Find this done. Okay. What is the answer for this anyway? In fact, from this way, subtract this, two zeros will come also. Two zeros and one, so I'll get minus one. Is the answer minus one by two, huh? Or minus two, right? It's okay, you can do it. From this way, zero will come. Zero, one will come here. One minus two is minus one. Plus one. So plus one by two. Yes. This is not off. This two will come up. Oh, thank you. This is two here, two here, two here. Two into one will be plus two. Huh? Answer is minus 2. So somewhere minus is wrong. We'll see. From this, when I subtract this, yeah, this is minus 1. Now it is minus 2. Because 1 minus 2 is minus 1, but with a minus 2. Will it be plus 1? No, plus minus plus. Correct one. Yeah, 2 into minus 1 minus 2. Okay. If you don't like this, already I said, you have to write this f dash x as sum of three determinants basically. Or really find f of x, expand it, and then do it also. Next to 66. 62. We'll discuss later in doubt, but it's okay. Let me look at it. 62, there's a chance that question is wrong, but without that, how to do it is directly don't find A into A transpose. You apply det on both sides. You'll get det of A into det of A transpose equal to 64 cube. From that, you'll get det A. Det of A transpose same as det A. You get det A whole square. You'll get det A value. Expand the det A directly, and in that ABC value substitute, you'll get. But I feel question is wrong in the sense if you really find A into A transpose and equate corresponding elements, it will come something else. Maybe I have to try on it. But applying that will save time if the question would have been right. Don't waste time. Okay, 66. 66, you don't have to worry about A power big numbers. After all, they want det only. So det of A 2014, if we take common, it is A square minus 2A minus I. Simply find the det of AB is det A into det B. So det of A 2014 into det of A square minus 2A minus I. Det of A power n is det A whole power n. So det A power 2014 and det of A square minus tell anything? Okay. Online people, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. In between, my video is blank for you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So I took A power 2014 common in the question. I got det of AB is det A into det B. I don't have to worry about how to find this det. I have to really find this matrix and then find det of that. And I don't have to worry about A power 2014 how to find. Simply find det A and find power 2014 of that. And A is given to us already. A is -4, -1, 3, 1. So when you find that, you will get -4 plus 3, which is -1 only. So this will become -1 power 2014. What this will become, you have to really find A square, subtract 2A and subtract I, you'll get a matrix. Anybody completed this question before? No. Okay. You can find it, you'll get one 2 by 2 matrix, find the det of that. Okay. If somebody wants to tell me, not an issue. Or I'll leave it because I want to explain. 67, 68, 69, 70 has some logic, all of them put together. So I want to explain something about it. What is the answer for 66? -26 is D, -25. So this answer will come -25. So answer is -25. How it is -25? You see. Is it okay? What is? Don't find det of A square, det of this, det of this. Because det of A plus B, there is no formula det A plus det B. In addition, we don't have that. You have to find this total matrix and then find det of that. Don't find det of this minus det of this minus det of this. No, we don't have a formula det of A plus B is det A plus det. Okay, I'm erasing this. Okay. So before explaining 66, 68 or whatever. 69. Okay, please listen. This is for all 67 to 70 together. When you take A square equal to I, when you take A square equal to I, one answer is I itself, na? I square is also I, right? Okay. A can be I or minus I. Don't think they are the two answers. There are a lot more. There are infinite matrices whose square is identity matrix, who are 2 by 2. Okay. How to understand them? Okay. But the interesting thing is for all of them trace is 0 except for one or two, like this. Why like this it is coming? Okay. I want to give 3 different explanations. Okay. One explanation is, which is easy, I think people can relate. Apply det on both sides. You'll get det A whole square equal to 1, det of I. So det A square equal to 1, det A equal to plus or minus 1. Let us take two cases, det A equal to 1 and det A equal to minus 1. A, I'll take it as A, B, C, D. And one more thing. A square equal to I means here, A square equal to I means I can write A equal to A inverse. A square equal to I means A equal to A inverse. Okay. Now, A into A inverse, I want to equate here, see what happens, equate here, what happens. I'll take A as A, B, C, D. A inverse formula is 1 by det A into D minus B minus C A for inverse formula. So I'm going to write here 1 by 1 because I took det A as 1. Here D minus B minus C. When you equate these two, what will come? A equal to D, B equal to minus D, C equal to minus C, and D equal to A. That means you'll get B 0 and C 0 and A equal to D. Not just A equal to D, that A equal to 1. What is that A is going to be now? AD minus BC, which is A square minus 0 equal to 1. So you'll get A equal to plus or minus 1. So when you put B0 and C0 and B, these two both 1 or both minus 1, you'll get identity matrix and negative of identity matrix. That's all. So in this case, I have only two answers: 1 0 0 1 or minus 1 0 0 minus 1. That's all. Nothing else. You can see that. Okay. If A is 1, D is 1. A is minus 1, D is minus 1. Some people cannot see here, so I have to write it. So now with this and with this, I can write A square equal to 1, A equal to plus or minus 1. Okay. Coming to this, I will get A, B, C, D here. Here 1 by minus 1 into D minus B minus C. If I take this minus inside, I'll get A equal to minus D, B equal to B. Okay. C equal to C and D equal to minus A. So only condition I'm getting is A plus D equal to 0. That's all. But my debt should be minus 1. So what happens to that? If I take AD minus BC equal to minus 1 and use D as minus A, yes, I can write A minus A square minus BC equal to minus 1. Okay. So I can use any A, any B, any C, but this condition should be satisfied. So I can write like this. See carefully. I am writing any A here. I don't care. And D should be minus A. B can be anything, but let us see what is C based on this. I'll get A square plus BC equal to 1. Send A square that side and divide with the B. You will get 1 minus A square by B. Okay. Now, whatever A you take, some people cannot see here in the video. I'll write a little small. A here, B here, here 1 minus A square by B and minus A here. Okay. You take whatever A here, whatever B here, any real number, I don't care. When you square this, you'll get identity matrix. So you have infinite answers here, not just one or two. But for all of them, what is the trace? 0. A plus D is 0 we got. Okay. So A square equal to I has infinite solutions. What are those? This one, and this. Okay. For these two, for this one, what is the trace? 2. For this one, what is the trace? Minus 2. But for this, all of them, what is the trace? 0. Okay. That is one thing. And another thing is debt of A minus A or something. What are the options are there talking about? That's all. Trace and debt, there is a relation. Okay. Whenever debt A is minus 1, trace has to be 0. Whenever debt A is 1, trace should not be 0. That's the only two cases we got. Okay. They asked 69, but I'm discussing all of them. But specifically 69 means statement 1, trace of A is 0. Statement 2, debt of A is 1. No, whenever debt is minus 1 only, trace is 0. So statement 2 is not that much. '68 is slightly different to this, but 67, 69, 70 is fine. Online people, anybody any doubt?
No, sir.
Actually, in another room also where MS sir is supposed to take class, I have to explain maths and determinant is there. But I'm having only one period. So I'm sending this recording link and asking to watch. I'm not taking maths and determinant. Yesterday also today. Tomorrow I'm able to get a time. Okay. Please listen, everybody. There is something not there in IP, but we might have explained. There is something called characteristic equation. There is a theorem called Cayley-Hamilton theorem. Okay, it is actually there in the next level, degree level or engineering level, but it is useful for some questions for us. What is that? Whether it is 2 by 2 matrix or 3 by 3 matrix or 4 by 4, you find det of A minus lambda I. If it is your original matrix is a 2 by 2 matrix, this will come some lambda square minus something into lambda plus some constant will come. If it is a cubic 3 by 3 matrix, you would have got minus lambda cube plus lambda square something plus lambda into something plus some constant will come. Let me give some names. It is A lambda and B. This is also A lambda square B lambda plus C. Okay. If it is 4 by 4, I'll get a fourth degree. Okay. If A is a 2 by 2 matrix, that of A minus lambda is this. Something like that. If A is a 3 by 3 matrix, some cubic expression will come. If we equate to 0 here, this is an equation in terms of lambda. That is called characteristic equation of that matrix. Here, if we equate it to 0, we'll get an equation in terms of lambda. You can write x also. So I don't like lambda, you write x. This is x. This is x. This is x. This is x, and this is x. Okay. So x square minus ax plus b equal to 0 is a quadratic equation. Minus ax cube plus this is a cubic equation. If A is a 2 by 2 matrix, this equal to 0 is a quadratic characteristic equation. If A is a 3 by 3 matrix, this equal to 0 is called characteristic equation of that 3 by 3. In the place of x, when you substitute that matrix, it will satisfy. A square minus AI plus B equal to, sorry, minus A into A plus BI equal to 0. In this, if you substitute minus A cube plus A into A square plus B into A plus C into I equal to 0. The proof of this you will study in higher level. I'm not going to tell the proof, but I'm going to give some idea. In the place of x, you substitute matrix A everywhere. When you substitute matrix A here, what is A into I? A. A minus A is null matrix. And what is the delta of null matrix? 0. Here also in the place of x, substitute A. X square will become A square. A into this will become A. We cannot add a constant to a matrix, so we are taking B as BI. Okay, same thing here. You're able to understand? Okay. So this helps us. You know, you might have seen some IP questions. They'll give a 3 by 3 matrix and ask, show that A cube minus 7A square plus 9A plus some 20I equal to null matrix. You took a lot of time to find A square, find A cube, and really substitute. You got null matrix. We're quite happy that you completed it. But what about those that are making the question? You take some other 3 by 3 matrix. Should I write A cube plus 20A square or 19A square, or what A square I should write? What A I should write? 10I should I write? 20I should I write? I don't know, na? The questions are made based on this test. Okay. But one thing, actually, it looks like I explained to you that put x equal to A, you're getting it, but it is not. Why? X is a number. Why are you putting a matrix? That's the first thing. Why are you taking B as BI? That is the second thing. So these things you'll understand when you study in the undergraduate course. Okay. So right now we'll just accept it. But for 2 by 2 matrix, what is this A, what is this B also we can tell. This will be trace and this will be determinant. Let us see why. You take A as ABCD. What is A minus Xi? A minus X, because I have to subtract A, B, C, D minus X, 0, 0, X, which is A minus X, B, C, D minus X. When you take det of A minus Xi, when I expand, I'll get AD plus X square minus AX minus DX minus BC. That is X square minus A plus D into X plus AD minus BC. This equal to 0 is a characteristic equation. You can see what you got is trace here, what you got det here, right? So I can write A square minus A plus D into A plus AD minus BC into I equal to null matrix. Every 2 by 2 matrix, as long as it is not a multiple of identity matrix, it will satisfy a quadratic equation. It will be like this. Now when you compare some other, let us say somebody gave me A square minus 5A plus 20I equal to null matrix. They told me that there is a 2 by 2 matrix which will satisfy this quadratic equation. Just by looking at these two, this may have many answers, but for all those matrices which is satisfying this equation, what is the trace? 5, just by comparison. What is the det? 20, right? Now, if I take directly a square minus, let us say 5a plus 6i equal to null matrix. For this matrix A which is satisfying this, what is the trace? 5 when you compare. What is the det? 6. What if I take a square minus I equal to null matrix? When I compare these two, what will happen? There is no a term. I should write this as a square minus 0 into a plus 1 into I, sorry, minus 1 into I equal to null matrix. Now when you compare these two, what will come? Trace is 0 and that is minus 1. You can see here, whenever that is minus 1, at that time trace is 0. But this will not cover all the solutions of this equation because a square minus I equal to 0 has I also one solution, minus I also one solution. For them that is plus 1, not minus 1. And for them trace is not 0. Okay, this is only for those matrices which are not a multiples of I, but these are multiples of I, so they don't satisfy this condition. Okay, so that is another way to tell that whenever that is minus 1, trace is 0. You can relate to that. Without all this, there is one more method. Simply find a square. When you find a square, let us see what happens. ABCD into ABCD. When you find, you will get a square plus BC. This into this is B times A plus D. This into this is C times A plus D. This into this is BC plus D square. I have to equate this to identity matrix 1, 0, 0, 1. Now see carefully. When I equate this to 0, I will get B into A plus D equal to 0. When I equate this to 0, I will get C into A plus D equal to 0. No, there are two cases. A plus D equal to 0 or B and C both must be 0. Why A plus 2 should be 0? Let's say B is 0, C is 0. A plus B can be anything. It can be 900,000. So either this or this. If you take this, okay, then what happens? You have to equate to A square plus BC equal to 1 also here. A square plus BC equal to 1. But BC is 0, so you'll get A square equal to 1. You'll get A equal to plus or minus 1. There actually you'll get 4 answers. What are they? 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, minus 1, minus 1, 0, 0, 1, minus 1, 0, 0, minus 1. Are you preparing for mains, all of you? Seriously? Okay. So here I got 4 answers where B is 0, C is 0. This can be 1 or minus 1. This can be 1 or minus 1. In that, this trace is 2, this trace is minus 2, but these two, sorry, this trace is minus 2. These two trace is 0 only. So I got 4 solutions here. Out of the 2 of them have trace 0. And this that is 1, this that is 1, but these two have det minus 1. Next, coming to A plus D equal to 0. What happens? Yeah, you don't have to do anything much. Equate A square plus BC equal to 1. Okay. A into another A, I can write minus D. Right? Take minus common, what will come? AD minus BC equal to minus 1. You can see whenever trace is 0, what happened to det? Minus 1. So again, the main point is whenever A square equal to I, there are infinite solutions. 2 of them are I and minus I. For them, det is 1 and trace is not 0. For all other infinite matrices which are solutions to this, det is 0, sorry, det is minus 1 and trace is 0. Here we have examples and here 2 more examples. So we discussed 3 approaches. One is Cayley-Hamilton theorem that we use, that is characteristic equation. Another one is det is 1 or minus 1, we took 2 cases. And there is really found A square and we equated to identity matrix. All right. Anyway, because I discussed too much about this, I could not cover. As I said, in a particular day, if some questions are left, we don't have any time to discuss them. You have to try, and next day we'll discuss doubts. Okay. If you have any backlogs in these 3-4 days, use January 1st to complete all of them. But when you come to January 2nd, you should have completed all the numbers till that date. And if any doubts are there, we can discuss on January 2nd. Is it all right? Today's doubts I'll discuss tomorrow, either maths and determinants or functions. Tomorrow I'll discuss tomorrow numbers first, and then depending on the time, I'll discuss doubts. Thank you.